Okay, guys, hello. All right, so here's another one of my bombshell videos as far as finding information in my computer through Little Snitch. If you have Apple products like a MacBook Pro, I recommend getting Little Snitch because you can see everything going in and out of your network. Back on, I want to say the 28th of December, I found out that I had the entire Federal Bridge, and I made a video about this before. I believe it's up on YouTube. Um, Basically, what I found in my little stitch that I had all of the Federal Bridge certificates as far as commercial in blue, um, as far as they go in my computer all of a sudden. And I had Raytheon and I had Boeing. And then I also had Carillion. Actually, let me get those really quick. Okay, and we can take a look together. I'm going to move these over here and move this one over here, and then you can see better. Okay, so you can see here that I had these put in. We have the GPO right here, and that's there. And then we had the FTI, and this one is South Texas, and this has to do with their emergency medical system. This is the patent office right here, which is right there. We have Boeing in there, which is right here. Carillion right here. Entrust, which is right here. It was the Entrust NFI route right here. And you can see NFI route managed. And then Carillion Federal Server, Raytheon, VeriSign, which are all of these over here. The VeriSign that I have is the Certipath AIA VeriSign. Then we have ORC, which is right here. And then we had the Transped, which is Romanian, and it's in conjunction with Safe Biopharma. And basically what those two are, I found out, is they're any kind of medical testing being done on me, all of the, it basically gathers all of the results and takes it from there. Evincible, I don't know. And this is the federal keys right here, which is this whole thing. Comcoda, I don't know. Starfield Tech, I don't remember. Okay, so that's basically what that is right there. Okay, and then everything that I have is being all of a sudden I have a private network that I can't access or have any really any information on. I assume this is where they're processing all the information. So all right here, they're controlling the biosystem of my computer. So I didn't have this before the 28th of December. I have had it at other times periodically, and then it disappears, but now it's back. What if you have Little Stitch and you want to find out if you have this stuff? Go in .edu and you can search and see what you have. Oh wait, you got to clear it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Let's see. And all of these, I don't even know what these are. Really nice. We have the Pet Cancer Center, which is run out of Stanford University, which does which plays a big part in the Brain Initiative. Okay, well, that's a little bit of a backstory. let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, so I was in my little snitch, and all of a sudden I started finding a bunch of universities that have to do with Obama's Brain Initiative. Now, I knew I was put on this illegally, but I've never been able to find the actual proof. So, yeah, so here are the screenshots of what I found. Okay, so we have here frontiers.in, and that is, it was on my list on here. I don't know where that screenshot is, but that has to do with neurosciences. And then I had baycare.org, IMUS Environmental Health, which has to do with, it's basically a research hospital, and it has to do with toxic exposures in the environment. So it probably has something to do with the toxins in the room here. And then we have the Journal of Neurosurgery, and that one is right here, jns.org, and it is actually going to a server in Dublin. And that's basically, I have hackers, not from Dublin, but they're using a server hooked up to my Google out of Dublin. I've never looked any of this stuff up. It just all was in there, and basically connects to my computer nonstop. Then we had the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, and that is bafound.org. So that's interesting. And then we had the Pacific Neuro Institute, which is this website right here. Then we had the Johns Hopkins Medical Center in Baltimore. I've never looked them up, and yep, there they are. Then I had Barrow Neuro, and that's a neurological institute. I believe that's in New York City. Then I have brain.ieee.org, and that is Brain Initiative Workshop. It has to do with the Brain Initiative. Ultimately, I found the Korean Brain Initiative on my little snitch. So apparently I've been signed up for that. So I assume I'm signed up for the American one too. Then we had the Genetic Literacy Project, and here we go. This is their website. And then we have, and it's hooked up to the to a generic location out of South Dakota for me. I'm not in South Dakota, I'm in Florida. Yeah. Oh, and then we have the KavliFoundation.org, which has to do with, they're basically majorly involved in the Brain Initiative. So, all right, and then we have NeuroNexus, and that there's Stanford on there too. NeuroNexus is, and neurovascular medicine also. And NeuroNexus is basically a place where you can buy all of your supplies for neuro recording, and it's like the one-stop electrophysiology shop. So they have the neural probes, micro drives, everything that you need, smart boxes. They have, which is terrifying, all of these. You can probably get implants there, I'm sure. And then neurovascularmedicine.com was on there too. So whatever that is. And then I found something in Malaysia, jsurgeacademy.com. I looked that up, and that was also a neuroscience place too. And then we have the Korean Brain Initiative right here. It's kbri.re.kr. So I had it put into English, and it's the Korea Brain Initiative was on my thing. All of a sudden I had an outgoing spot in Korea, and I'm like, what's that? So I click on it and I find out that yes, that's it. So yeah, someone sold my brain to science while I'm using it. Then I find a neural cdmwebcloud.com out of Dublin, so I assume that that's probably one of the places that they might be storing information from this illegal testing. And then we have radar submissions, iPhone submissions. I don't have an iPhone, so that's someone around here. Then we had the University of Miami Medical School, the surgery department, and then we had Stanford's neuroscience program there, and Berkeley and Boise State and Yale, and University of Wisconsin at Madison, which I found out has to do with it's like a medical research college. The CSHI, I can't remember what that one was. I'll have to find out again, but it had to do with medical experimentation. And then we have UAB here, which is pathology education. Neurosurgery.eu, which is out of Belgium, another neurosurgery school. ColumbiaNeurosurgery.org. This is neurosurgery.eu. And then Columbia Neurosurgery right here. This is really messed up finding all this stuff. And then the SRA lab was also on there. And another place where they study all this. And then we have the APSU biology.org. I can't remember what APSU was. And then we had the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons also on there. Who knows what they're planning with that? We had the Roche Review, and that has to do with board reviews. Anatomical Justice was also on there. Oh, this one was even better. We had the Upper Cervical Healthcare Centers in Boise, Idaho. And the person that all of a sudden has resurfaced, and I know has put me on this, is has deep connections to Idaho and all of this. And it went back to this doctor here. And and I had woke up that day that was on there, and I had a bruise in my upper cervical area, as I've been woken up with bruises there in the past, especially when I was in Huntsville, Alabama. And that you can like kill somebody if you hit them there. So they're trying to purposely damage my brainstem and upper cervical neck and all that. Yeah. So, and you can see that was created at 9:39 a.m. on the 20th. I had woken up at that time, and I found this right beforehand. So, yeah, great. Okay. And then we had erau.edu. What was that? Emory-Riddle Aeronautical University here in Daytona. It has to do with airplanes. So it probably has to do with air surveillance. And then I had the Siteman Cancer Center, Cancer Treatment, which is this one, wustl.edu. That was on there. The India Cancer Center Hospital, also on there. Cancer.gov was on there. Apparently the government wants to watch me die. Okay. Brain Initiative, SRA Lab, all kinds of information being downloaded. And then I found the Human Paragon, which has to do with genetic engineering and transhumanism and nanotechnology. It's a blog, and that was on there also. I've never heard of any of these things. So there's, yeah, so this guy's all into the transhumanism thing. Oh, I looked up, in case they had some kind of bogus guardianship on me, I looked up because I mean there's been a lot of fraud even to get me into this situation. I'm perfectly healthy. I have never been sick, have no mental issues, nothing wrong with my brain. So I checked to see like if what like if someone took guardianship of your life illegally, like could they put you in human experimentation programs? So I find out that consent to experimental biomedical and behavioral procedure or the words participation in such experiments, apparently you have to have approval of the court beforehand. So there would have to be some kind of a record if they had done that. Let's see. And then we had edu.ua, usf.edu. USF is South Florida, and obviously it's a medical school. And then this one was in the Ukraine, and I remember waking up very sick that morning, completely radiated. Oh, and then someone put Narcanon. I find Narcanon, because I just hit .org and find out, or .edu in the little snitch, and just see what comes up. And Narcanon is the Scientologist program, apparently for drug rehab. I've never done drugs in my whole life, ever, nothing. I've never even smoked pot. I mean, I used to drink when I was young, I bartended and that, but everyone knew that I never touched drugs. Yeah, so here we go. And apparently people have died in Narcanon. I don't know. Maybe they're sending Scientologists after me now, telling them I'm a drug addict and I need help or something. When I was in Huntsville, my handler told people that I was a homeless, like a gypsy girl, and that he was helping me and that I had mental problems, and he told people not to talk to me. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So then we had the New England Journal of Medicine. We had Oregon State University. And then today, this morning, I just ran a quick check and I find the petcancercenter.org. I have 2 dogs, and they go after the other one really bad. They go after both of them, but Manolo horribly. Okay, so apparently it's veterinary oncology. I look it up, and it has to do... the Pet Cancer Center was founded by a group of Stanford scientists and healthcare professionals to provide pet owners with a free one-stop comprehensive online research about every aspect of pet cancer management. I've never looked any of this information up ever, and my dog has been getting hit as horribly as I with the radiation, to the point that he cries. I did a video on Facebook of my other dog. When he was getting hit crying, you could see it happening. And then today I found inchem.org, or INCHEM, and it's chemical safety information for intergovernmental organizations. So apparently I've been talking about my room being dosed with something for, since last March. And here we go. Pesticide residues. Yeah. So there we go. And then also the Health and Social Services Network was on there. Apparently this was from Ohio. Part of what they do with this, when I've been put in the Brain Initiative illegally, they try to always get me in the hands of social services, the police, hospitals, anything to try to get like an actual discredit. I don't need any of their help at all. There's nothing wrong with my mental capacity. Um, I've had no problems until all of this started, and it's been, documented, um, continuous issues. So, okay. And then the Pew Research Center, and they go over all different kinds of research. So, okay. And then this is from today. And let's see, what one is this? Okay, and then there was Safe Haven of Ashland, another social services, domestic violence kind of a place. And I have recordings of Huntsville where every single day it was like, you need to go to a shelter. I'm like, what? I'm not going anywhere. And then the APA, the American Psychological Association, was on there. RIMS, apparently. What the hell is RIMS? I forget. It has to do with risk management. I don't know what that means, but it was weird. And then we had Typekit, Bootstrap, Parsley, all kinds of stuff that hackers use. And then we had the Animal Surgical Center. I found that. Most of these things I've never even been on. And then the Long Beach Animal Hospital, I was never on there. I'm nowhere near there. Okay, so that was basically everything for right now that I had found over the past, I would say, week. I've been getting, it's basically Huntsville all over again, where I'm being shot horribly with radiation, directed energy implants that were put in the right side of my head and in my body are being activated, causing horrendous pain. Yeah, they've also gone in and I sleep with the camera on, and I think on 4 different occasions they have flooded my computer, so the hard drive would just kind of like kick out, and then the camera would go off, and then I'd have to go in and actually I would go into fix.video to try to fix the broken links, and it works. So it's proof that, but I couldn't, I didn't want to pay $30, but I just wanted to make sure that it all went through. So yeah, so here we go. So this is proof right here that I was put on the Brain Initiative, apparently the Korean Brain Initiative. There were some interesting things like this that I found back in, I want to say 2012, and that'll be another video. Yeah, so guys, get in your devices, because all the information is here. First thing that they did, they put me on the Federal Bridge. This entire thing right here. Then they they did something to my computer on the 28th, and I was down for 5 hours, and then I go back on, I look in my little snitch, and I find all the government trust certificates, and then I go on and I find out, that I'm on the Brain Initiative, and I'm being hit with directed energy, specifically to the right side of the brain, horribly. Yeah, so I don't know. This stuff does exist. I shouldn't be on this. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go.